Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Sex trader relationships. Sex trader relationships. Very specific about that. And that's sex trade because that suggests actual sex workers, the prostitutes, gigolos, all of them. Nah, sex trader. And this is what I mean, because I've touched on this before, but I used the term acculturated prostitution. But this is the looking at the entire picture of it. And one thing before I really get into that, this is sponsored by Masculine Identity Natural Soap. And this is something made by Miles Cunningham. The Masculine Identity Natural Soap is very good for you. It's very good for you. Now check it out. I'm someone who uses natural soaps. I use natural soaps. I will go to a vending market and everything to buy them. I got this at the Game Kings 2 seminar. I got this from Miles Cunningham. And I'm going to tell you what, this was very good because he told me what was in it. Got all natural ingredients. It got shea butter, coconut oil, avocado oil, olive oil, artisan water, lye, almond oil, and other essential oils. And I'm gonna tell you what with this, it works well. Cause especially you talking about like sex, you gotta make sure your skin is right. And then, a lot of people will say, well, Ron, you look younger than your age and stuff. I be using natural soap such as this, and this is very good because as soon as I used it and as soon as I ran out, I hit Miles up right then. I was like, Miles, I gotta get some more, man. I gotta get some more. And I tell you what, definitely use that. I highly recommend it. And a link to get it is right in the description box. A link to get this is right in the description box. It's very good. You want to use more natural stuff for your skin anyway. It's very good. It gets the dead skin off, everything. You want to keep your skin shiny, all right? So definitely check it out, all right? So sex trader relationships. Sex trader relationships. Now we know about the acculturated prostitute part. The acculturated prostitutes, or as the Honorable Pimp God will call them, acceptable hoes. Those are women who will only deal with a man or have sex with him if he's providing some type of resource. Resource usually, maybe it's some service, maybe it's something else, maybe it's a favorable evaluation on a job. It could be that. It could be that, like giving them a raise, something like that, whatever the case. The sex trader, see, and it's not just the women, but it's the men engaging in it. But yeah, you can call them tricks and whatever, but they basically trade in something. Like when you have sugar baby relationships, basically the man, he's trading his resources for services from the woman. Now, yeah, you can call that sex work, but it's the same thing. But what about when they're not official with it? Like if a woman, you know what, she needs her rent paid. She don't have enough for her rent. All right, she has a vagina. Her landlord wants to get some. All right, she might give him some just to get, a break on that rent. Or if that woman wants just even, even a regular relationship sometimes. Unfortunately, a lot of relationships out here are actually sex trader relationships. And of course, it seems norm. The man is bringing money. He's bringing security and everything. And the woman just basically has to trade sex for it. She might even, marry him and everything. Shoot, a lot of marriages are like that. The woman doesn't love him, but she's pragmatic about it. And that's people will say love and all of that, but let's be real. Let's be real. A lot of people are just trading what they got to get what they want. Like I always get into arguments with the guys who say, oh, it takes money, it takes money. Yeah, if you're dealing with a sex trader, yeah. Because there's no real feelings there, no real emotional connections. It's pragmatic, In fact, when you have when people are talking about like mail order brides or women from overseas who might marry a man for his, the resources, what he's providing. Could be citizenship or something like that. That's a trade. He's trading his status, his money, his resources for a woman to, be his wife, but he's really trading for the sex. He's really trading for the sex. Those are sex trader relationships. And like I said, whatever people consider love, it's not always about the emotion. It's pure pragmatics. It's pure pragmatics. Because understand with women, what do they have that a man really wants? Yeah, you got women out here who are making a lot more money. Okay, fine. But then there's a lot who aren't. And they was like, okay, what do they have? What do they have to offer that man? Oh, they have the sex, especially if they're attractive. And then the man, what is he offering other than his money? Like I said, it's not always about the connection, the emotional connection. Hey, if that happens too, that's great. But it's about what they trading. And like I said, it's not just the women, but it's the men. The men are saying, okay, I want sex. All right, I got this money. Let me trade this for that sex. Let me trade it for that companionship. Heck, you could even say they trade it for that family. And like I said, it happens a whole lot. But people will say, oh, it's love. Nah, please, let's just be real. Most marriages in the world ain't based on love. They're not based on love. That's a good fantasy. That's good for a TV show, but it's not. And only problem with that, is, okay, what happens when a woman gets older? What happens when she doesn't have that same, dare I say, a sexual marketplace value? Even though that's not something I'm talking about, that isn't a big thing with me, but she doesn't have that same level of sex appeal. What happens when the man, he can't provide those resources? What happens when he get laid off or something like that? I know several stories like that. A woman, she is sex trading with a man, got some money, but then something happens with his business. He can't spend as much. All of a sudden that changes everything. Nothing to do with love or a connection like that. It's a business. I think that's the best way to look at it. It's a business relationship, a business transaction. And that's a very important thing to think about. And it happens. Yeah, there's not enough talk about it. Women definitely ain't gonna talk about it, because, at least publicly, because they don't want to, they would be called hoes. they would be called hoes. It looks cold-blooded. But thing is, women are way, we always talk about how emotional women are. But women are very pragmatic. They're extremely pragmatic in most of the world. Those happy in a romance book relationships, there's not a lot of them. And then from the man's perspective, what he feels is like, oh, it's all about his money. It's all about his money. And some guys are good with that. But what happens, they can't make that money, And then, in relationships like that, since it's business, hey, sometimes you're either going to have some cheating, or they're going to be open relationships. Or they're going to be open. Like, the man knows this woman really doesn't have feelings for him, and he might have to look the other way. And the woman, as long as she gets that resources, she ain't tripping. She ain't tripping. Like I said, very pragmatic. See, one thing overall with relationships, that romance part, if you're talking about long term, doesn't happen a lot. It really doesn't. It's a lot very practical. Like, I will talk about social classes and everything. If you look at the upper classes, they mate from the neck up. They're all lovey-dovey. Oh, we just had that lust for each other. That's more lower classes. But when you get that upper classes, they're especially more pragmatic. That's actually another conversation. I've talked about that before. I can't remember the exact title of the video. Got several thousand, but it's just something to really think about. Really think about. Like, and I would say that for a man, And I'm going to get more into that in the next one. Ask yourself what that woman really wants you for. You know, does she have real feelings for you, for your character and stuff of that nature? I'm going to get into character on Friday. Or she wants, it's more of a business thing. I want you to really think about that, all right? So anyway, that's all I have for right now. I'll get back with y'all. And definitely check out Masculine Identity Soap from Miles Cunningham. The link for it is in the description box. So I'll get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.